Lee Hsien Loong just lost 7.4 million Singapore dollars of CPF funds in Vietnam taxi company. June 6, 2018. According to the Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange investment disclosure on May 25, Chairman of GIC Lee Hsien Loong lost 7.4 million Singapore dollars on Vietnam taxi company Vinasun. In August 2014, GIC paid Vietnamese dong 202 billion, about 11.82 million Singapore dollars in 2014 value, for 7.96% of the shares, and sold them all last month on 25 May 2018 at Vietnamese dong 75 billion, 4.39 million Singapore dollars. The 62% loss translates to a 7.4 million Singapore dollars loss in value. This news went unreported in Singapore's state media, which is ranked 151st in the world for credibility. In recent years, there has been rising public anger over losses of national reserves and CPF funds by GIC and Temasek Holdings. Dictator Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, who is already paid 2.2 million Singapore dollars a year, sits himself as the estimated $1 million a year chairman of GIC, a position he inherited from his father Lee Kuan Yew, and his wife Ho Ching was made the estimated $10 million a year CEO of Temasek Holdings. The powerful, but corrupted couple have in recent years making high-profile losses, due to the lack of investment acumen. Since the 2009 financial crisis, where Temasek Holdings reportedly lost 39 billion Singapore dollars in a single year, Singaporeans have been on the alert on overseas losses unreported in Singapore media. In 2017, GIC lost about 43 billion Singapore dollars while Temasek Holdings struggled with a 1.6% return. There has been a number of high-profile losses involving Temasek Holdings, including the 1 billion Singapore dollars losses of Neptune Orient Line, NOL, undisclosed ComfortDelGro losses over failed Uber stake, bailing out of SMRT, and a 61 million Singapore dollars loss in China. Just earlier this week, Ho Ching announced that Temasek Holdings will issue a new private equity debt program to raise funds from the public. The news sparked fresh fears of losses in the sovereign fund companies, as her husband Prime Minister has in recent raising CPF minimum sum, doubling it from 80,000 Singapore dollars to 181,000 Singapore dollars, and raising withdrawal age, from 55 to 65. During this year's budget, Lee Hsien Loong announced a 2% GST hike, in addition to a 30% water price increase, 4% gas tariff increase, car park fees increase, and several other daily taxes. Public comments. Chen Guangqing. I'm not surprised why there is no accountability at all in many areas. I'm also not surprised why the CPF minimum sum, they have since changed it to a more harmless term called retirement sum, keeps increasing every year. That is faster than the purported inflation and salary earnings in the workforce. I'm also not surprised why in recent years, they exhort citizens to top up their CPF accounts, or even set up an account for your toddlers. How ludicrous is that? You mean none of you ever questioned the real intent? Do you now know why they tell erroneous stories to Singaporeans they are making profits when flat lease prices go up? No, it's not you who are making profits. They are the ones raking in all the big money. You can't see that coming? Have you been sleeping? Does the typical Singaporean in the street question such issues? No. Then you vote the PAP for what? That you think they are always doing the right thing? That the opposition is not capable? How so? In other news, Minister Grace Fu, every Singaporean household should volunteer to help the poor? June 6, 2018. Speaking at a Rich Society forum, Culture Minister Grace Fu said that she wants every Singaporean household to have one volunteer in 5 years' time. telling Singaporeans to give more money and time to the needy, the 1.2 million a year PAP minister saying about helping the poor. We hope for Singapore to grow as a giving nation with a volunteer in every household. We believe technology can empower and enable citizens to do good by providing time, money, and resources to meet the needs of their neighbors and build stronger social bonds. In the face of technological advances that disrupt our businesses, our jobs, the way we communicate with one another, in the face of an aging population that will change the societal structure and dramatically increase the need for social services, in the face of globalization that may result in uneven economic progress for segments of society, our challenge is to activate and strengthen the social compact in the face of increasing social and technological divides. Minister Grace Fu told businessmen to make regular money and resource contributions to the public instead of making ad hoc donations. Quote, "Business leaders should move beyond conducting ad hoc, one-off sponsorship or events to incorporating sustained giving programs as an integral part of their corporate strategy and identity. Companies benefit from the shared public assets of the societies in which they operate, and should therefore in return deliver benefit to all these constituencies." Singapore has one of the worst income inequality in the world, second only to Mexico when compared with OECD nations. A recent salary survey found that Singapore bosses are paid above 76 times over the lowest income worker in the same company. Due to the absence of minimum wage, low-income workers take home as low as 800 Singapore dollars a month after an aggressive 37% CPF deduction. In 2017, the Ministry of Social and Family Affairs published a statistic revealing that more people are relying on public assistance. Poverty is likely to worsen following this year's raise in taxes on public water, and a GST increase on 2021.